Now let's talk about Amazon S3 Performance. And there is what we used to know and what we know now and where the exam is today. So before July of this year, of 2018, when you had over 100 TPS, so transaction per second, basically the S3 performance could degrade. And behind the scenes, each object when you upload it to S3 goes to an S3 partition, and for the best performance, you want the highest partition distribution. Each partition is basically a server, and so the more server you involve, the highest throughput you get. In the exam and historically, it was really recommended to have random characters in front of your key name to optimize performance. What does that mean? That means that you basically add just 4 random characters before your key. So in this example, I have 5R4D or A91E just before the full key. And that basically forces Amazon to partition your data correctly and put it on different partitions. So etc. etc. So if the exam asks you, hey, should you use a randomized prefix to improve performance? The answer is yes, you do. It's also recommended never to use dates as prefix keys because basically if you use a date such as this, the partition will be very, very similar. Okay, so to improve the performance in Amazon S3, it was historically recommended to include 4 random characters, numbers or letters basically, to improve the performance. Now there is the current state, but it's not yet in the exam. And basically there's a blog, you can read about it, but as of July 2018, you can scale up to 3,500 transactions per second for puts and 5,500 for gets for each prefix you want. So what that means is that you really don't need to randomize object prefixes anymore to achieve faster performance. So this is exactly what the blog says. It's something that you should know, and it's a bit tricky because the exam hasn't been updated to take this into account yet. When it does, I'll let you know. But basically that means that if you get a performance question, just know that you need to randomize the prefix for now. Maybe someday it will go away, okay? Now there's other things you should know about S3 performance that are quite common at the exam. If you want to upload a large object, so over 5 GB, you need to use multi-part upload. And what you get out of it is that you can parallelize the puts, and that allows you to get greater throughputs on your connection. You can maximize your network bandwidth, and you can basically decrease the time to retry in case a part fails. So if you upload a 5 terabyte file right now in one part, and the whole thing fails, then you have to re-upload 5 terabytes. But when you use multi-part upload, and you have to whenever the file is a large anyway, you basically upload small parts one by one, and if a part fails, well, you can just re-upload that part. So basically to upload large objects, you need to use multi-part upload. If you want to do a lot of reads around your S3 bucket, there is a very popular technology called CloudFront that is used to cache the S3 objects for you. And if you want to upload files far away from the world to your S3 bucket, so for example, I have my S3 bucket in Europe, but I want to upload file from Australia, I'm far away, you can use something called S3 transfer acceleration, and that basically uses something called edge locations, and that means that you write locally to a server in Australia, and then that server in Australia on the Amazon network will transfer that file automatically to Europe, okay? Overall, no code changes, you just change the endpoint you write to. Finally, another very popular question is that if you use KMS encryption, you may see a performance decrease, okay? And the reason is that when you use KMS, well, you start hitting the AWS service limits for KMS, which basically allows hundreds or thousands downloads, uploads per second. Another very popular question. That's it for S3 Performance. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's a very popular exam question, and I will see you in the next lecture.